morning. I'm Patricia Emanuel. We're going to start off our very special event today with our safety briefing. And providing our safety briefing today will be Rich Keating, Director of Mechanical Capital Projects. Rich?
Good morning, everyone. Thank you. First of all, thank you for coming here today, but more importantly, thank each and every one of you for your service. Not a veteran at all, but I do admire each and every one of you, and thank you for your service. So this morning, it is November 7th, 2024. We are at 4917 South Wentworth Avenue, but for emergency purposes, we're going to use our 147 West 47th Street address if we do need to call first responders. And Russ Lamb in the back, he's going to make that call for us. Thank you, Russ. And John and Matt, also in the background, will be at the gates to usher in any first responders if needed. So first of all, if we do have to leave the building, there's 3 stairwells, one out here to the southwest, one to the northwest, and there's another stairwell in the northeast corner of the building. We ask that if we do have to leave, get up, push your chair in, please. Exit the building as quick as you can, safely, and we're going to meet in the evacuation area, which is just south of this building here. Okay, if you could look to the left and right at your table and make sure those people are out there with you when we get out there. AED's first aid kit is on the back wall of the building as well as in the hallway and on the first level. We have first responders. I am AED certified if need be. We also have many Metra Police Department in the room as well. If you do have any special needs, please pick one of us out in either the light blue or the dark blue shirt. If we do have to leave, raise your hand. We'll come get you and we'll assist in any way possible. And other than that, thank you again for your service. Thanks for coming, and please enjoy the event today.
I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome everyone to Metra's 4th annual Veterans Day Luncheon to honor our veterans here at Metra. We are so very fortunate to recognize 144 of our Metra heroes present for today's appreciation luncheon. Please rise for the presentation of the colors by Metra's Police Department and remain standing for the singing of the national anthem. Thank you.
white stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the Rockies' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce Jim Dewinski, our CEO, Executive Director. Jim will have remarks and recognition of military branches, video, and locomotive design. Thank you.
All right, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Pat. Thank you to the Color Guard. Before I present any remarks, I just want to introduce myself for those who haven't met me or new to Metra. Jim Dewinski, Metra CEO, Executive Director. This is my 28th year here at Metra 31 Railroad, but it's the 6 years in the military that really set my career to this position and this path. I always say to people I could never do this job without those years in the military. What I learned, what I was taught, the leadership and the camaraderie that really is part of the railroad environment. Before I speak today, I would like to ask two of our board members, both veterans, to come up and just say a few words. And first, if I could, any Vietnam vets in the room? And so we do have one, and that is Director Rod Craig. We've talked about it before. Vietnam, just the vets that came back didn't really get the warmest of welcome. So, Director Craig, let's give you a warm welcome.
Well, it's an honor to be here with you all today. Recently celebrating 10 years on the Metra board, and I've always been an advocate about hiring the veterans. I think there's a lot of goodwill there. You can come in with discipline, honor, and ability to work as a team. So that's always been a goal for me. Hanover Park is one of 3 communities that is recognized by the Department of Labor for hiring veterans, and we're in our 5th year doing that. And it took me a while to convince our board that was important. So now we continue in that leadership role. I need to tell you that when I was drafted in 1968, I thought, ooh, man, I don't know if I want to be sleeping and digging holes. So I joined the Navy. And what an honorable thing when I think about it, because my father was in the Navy during World War II aboard the USS Santa Fe. The Santa Fe saved over 2,000 men who were aboard the USS Franklin that was being bombed by kamikaze pilots, and their ship was listing. The captain of the Santa Fe pulled up under that listing ship, and men jumped aboard to save their lives. And so that's an honorable thing, probably unheard of in the Navy to be pulling that kind of stunt, but they saved over 2,000 men. And my father used to tell me that story, how they had a hot bunk, spare bunks. And then when they went back to the yards, they found a torpedo in the side of the ship that didn't go off in his berthing compartment. So those are the kind of stories that lead me here today. In the 60s and early 70s, we were not treated the same as we are today. So the transition where we would leave San Diego Naval Yard not in our uniform, but in civilian clothes, so we weren't recognized as the bad guys. And we were not really spoken to kindly. I came back, and the transition to what we are respectful today, for this old tin can sailor with 3 tours off of Vietnam into the Indian Ocean that I experienced, that's afforded on the movie Top Gun, if you've seen that. My ship led the Enterprise through the Straits of Malacca into the Indian Ocean. And so a lot of experience, a lot of history, but I'm so honored where we're at today. Great honor to our board for bringing us together as a Veterans Luncheon. We bring so much to the workforce, not only the pride, but the ability to work as a team and to lead this organization. Metra is a great, wonderful organization, and you've got one of the finest CEOs available. Not only did he do 6 years, but he matched my 6 years. So he was in the submarines, and I was in the fire control systems, radars, and making sure we hit what we shot at. So thank you all. I'm so honored to be here with you, and you can tell I'm a mayor, because you don't want to give a mayor a microphone because they don't know when to turn it off. So have a great lunch.
And if I can ask our Army representative on our board, Director Wes Beckton, please come up from DuPage County.
There's probably a good Navy joke here someplace, right? Anybody got one? Sorry. No, thank you. On behalf of the board, thank you for everything that you do for Metra, but thank you for your service. By the fact that you served, you wore a uniform, you said that, hey, service above self is something that I believe in, and that's a big part of what you do every day at Metra, and it really does make a difference, and it really matters. Last year, when I got up and spoke, just so happened one of my buddies who happened to be the former Secretary of Defense was here, and he shared a couple stories with you. I've talked to him as recently as earlier today. He's doing well, and I think you'll probably be hearing a little bit more from him in the future. I'll just leave it at that. The other thing that happened is last year I talked about my dad. My dad passed away about 3 weeks after I spoke last year. He was 97 years old. He retired from the Army as a lieutenant general, but he enlisted in the Army at the end of World War II in a segregated Army, rose all the way up through the ranks to become a lieutenant general. And then I followed in his footsteps, although not all that well, which is why I live in Chicago. But yeah, I went in the Army as an infantry officer and had the opportunity to serve our country on 3 different continents. This is a really special gathering, and just take a minute to look around at your fellow veterans that are in this room, that we all have something in common. We all said, hey, service to country is something we want to do for lots of different reasons, but we chose to do that. And as a member of the board, I'm just really proud to be able to stand up here and thank you for what you've done in the past and for what you continue to do to Metra. And as my fellow director, Mayor Craig, said, we're very fortunate to have Jim Derwinski as our leader. So thank you. Enjoy the lunch.
All right. Like Pat had mentioned, this is our 4th annual. First one was in 2019. This pandemic got in the way of the next ones in a row, but this is the second one we've had here. We started doing it on the second floor down in the 547 building, and I said the first year this was great. The second year I'm like, we need a bigger room. Last year I said, we got a bigger room, and now I'm looking around, I'm like, we might need a bigger building. So we'll have to start working on this. And again, 144 here today. There's many more here at Metra that couldn't make it here today. I know it's impossible for everybody that is a veteran here at Metra to make it here. So I thank you all for being here, for serving each other, serving the country, but obviously we still are serving our customers. And so some of our veterans that might want to be here are out operating trains, cleaning, and keeping the railroad safe. So I salute all of them that couldn't make it here or even chose not to be here today. You know, Veterans Day is more than just a public holiday. It's a solemn reminder to the sacrifices that have all of you and us that have worn the uniform. Our veterans' commitment to safeguarding our freedoms and values is a testament to your resilience and patriotism. You know, originally it was called Armistice Day, and I talked about this a couple of years ago, right after World War I. Armistice meaning treaty. They said we're going to have a Armistice Day, so there's no more wars, and they made it a national holiday eventually. After World War II, President Eisenhower then turned it into Veterans Day for a period of time. It actually was on the fourth Monday of October, but eventually under President Ford, he actually said that Veterans Day will be November 11th. So why are we here today? Why are we here on November 7th? And the real reason is I've heard from several people that the day of Veterans Day is really special to a lot of veterans because they support other veterans' activities. So that's why we chose to do it in advance of Veterans Day, just in case you're wondering why we're here on the 7th. At Metra, we believe in the importance of supporting and valuing our veterans, and we're committed to creating that workplace that not only acknowledges your service, but also leverages your unique skills, work ethics, and perspectives. And we've established programs and initiatives such as this one aimed at supporting veterans. So I wanted to kind of touch on a few of them, if I could have that first slide. Just Metra veterans by the numbers. You know, 54% of all leadership at Metra is a veteran. Our veteran population currently is 9.32%, and we aim obviously to grow that. In the last 2 years, 84% of our veterans have been retained. That doesn't mean they haven't chose other places to go or possibly even been in retirement. This year alone, we've hired 20 new veterans. And we are the first in the region or in the country to establish a veterans resource group, and you'll hear a lot more about that in the future. I also want to talk about the veterans resource group as something that it was not just the right thing to do, but it's a necessary thing to do. Sometimes resources groups are places you go to talk to people with similar needs. It's sometimes not that easy. So our Veterans Resource Group, that'll come up in a little bit here. You're going to hear from them, and they'll be talking to you about what that looks like here at Metra. And we're going to evolve that, just like we were evolving this particular event. We've established in the last year a Veterans Resource page in our website. If you haven't clicked on it, there's a lot of resources there. But it sits right top of the line. You don't have to go searching for it. It's Veterans Resources. And Michael Foraker isn't here today. He's our Director of Talent Acquisition. We hired him this year. He is a 15-year Marine veteran who specialized in recruiting. What is talent acquisition? That's the other term for bringing new people into the organization. So we've really put our money where our mouth is. We've been busy since last Veterans Day. We've engaged with numerous support groups that are here today to talk to you. In July, next slide, we partnered with Army Pays, an organization that helps facilitate connections between soldiers transitioning out of their service period into other opportunities. And we really worked with them. Some of you were in the room here with me in July when we did the ceremony. I thank you for that, for representing all Metra veterans. And this is another example of us making sure that veterans who have great skill sets that may not translate. I always say this, if you can fix a helicopter, you probably can work on a locomotive. But when you're getting out of the military, you're into your language, just like the railroad's got its own language. So we really worked with Army Pays to make sure that job descriptions here match kind of their skill sets there. Next slide. And as Director Craig mentioned, his town from the Department of Labor earned the Hire Vets Medallion. This year is Metra's first, and hopefully not only. We, from the Department of Labor this October, we were honored to receive the Gold Hire Vets Medallion. That's it there. I'll bring that to the board here in a week or so. The skills, training, and ethics and teamwork that make veterans excellent railroaders is the reason why we partnered with all of these groups, because we are all moving up in our years. We are going to hand this railroad off to somebody someday, and those next set of employees that become railroaders, I can't think sometimes of a better choice than a veteran because of the fact that they come with such great skill sets. We've worked with our board. Not only is our board supportive here today, in September they passed an ordinance which allows us to actually have veterans hiring preference for the first time. So I'm really excited about that. HR will work together, and they're going to set up that hiring preference so that we can help veterans have a little bit of a foot in the door. Obviously, we always want to hire the best person for the job. Our respect and admiration of veterans extends beyond our organization. I encourage all employees to take part in some type of Veterans Day event. If you can, find a way to give back to veterans community, whether it's volunteering to events like this, a veterans hospital, participating in a charity run, or simply just reaching out to a veteran and expressing gratitude for every gesture and appreciation they got. With that, I'd like to just show you a little video of some of our leadership here at Metra showing their appreciation to you.
I would like to extend my sincere thank you to all the veterans gathered here today. You have shown your dedication to our country, and every day you demonstrate your dedication to Metra too. We're lucky to have such professionals working for us, and I feel fortunate to call you my colleagues and to be working beside you. Thank you again, and happy Veterans Day.
A big shout out to our veterans and a big thank you for your service to our country and for your service to our riders.
To the hundreds of veterans that work here at Metra, a heartfelt thanks from me and my family. Your service is much appreciated. I just wanted to say Happy Veterans Day this year.
The rule of law in our country exists and persists because of your sacrifice. Thanks for your service. Happy Veterans Day.
If I can, then I got to remember this one. Anybody in here from Space Force? Like I said, if you can fly a rocket to the moon, you certainly can work on a locomotive. We just got to start working on that connection. Can I have everybody here from the Air Force stand up? Please remain standing. Can I have the Coast Guard stand up? Please remain standing. Can I have the Coast Guard stand up? Can I have the United States Army representatives stand up? Whoop. Can I have the U.S. Navy representatives stand, please? And sometimes they say the best for last. I just say it's going to be the loudest for last. Can we have the Marine Corps? Thank you again. So while you're all standing, if you have a good direction and bearing, take a look to the east. I'd like to present you with Metra's veteran locomotive. Go ahead, you can have a seat. Just like you, there's a reliable source. That thing was built in 77. It's on its fourth rebuild. It's going to run for a bit out there. That is not decals on there. That's a paint job. Well, with some decals on there. Designed in-house. The other side looks a little different, and I'm going to personally ask you when we get done speaking today, I'd like us all to go out there and take an awesome group shot right in front of that backdrop. Next, I just want to talk about, interestingly enough, our holiday train. So if any of you have been part of the holiday train or volunteering for the holiday train, we're about to kick that off pretty soon. And the feedback that we got on the experience of our passengers getting on the holiday train and our crews that operate the holiday train was incredible. But I got to give you the little story. Last year I was on a secret trip to pick up Congressman Quigley from O'Hare. And the guys at Western Avenue and the gals at Western Avenue, they decided they're going to send us out on the holiday train. And I hadn't been out there and seen it yet. The train spun backwards, meaning the locomotives are heading in. And the idea was to have a nice big locomotive, take the congressman out and show them what an O'Hare Express run could look like. But on the way out there, as I'm walking through the holiday train, seeing all the decorations and the incredible work that people did to do it, I walked into a car that didn't look like the rest. The colors were different. They happened to be these colors. And so I'd like to show you a few slides of what this looks like. So they're putting it together right now. But if you ever get a chance, this thing will be running in and out of CUS for a month. It's inside the holiday train. Go back one slide. I mean, it's the another one too. I love the fact that they decorated camo the entire bathroom, but no detail was left to spare here. So again, I'm so proud when I went through this. But one other thing on the holiday train is every year we have one leadership position that has to become kind of the big elf, the one that's got to make the whole holiday train happen. And it's Sean George. But I also want to point out Sean George is wearing his 1980-something shirt. So, Sean, if you could stand up. It doesn't button anymore, but thank you for all your support. So while you're here today, please make time to talk with each other, network, even talk to those other branches. You're going to have a good time doing it. Yes, there's a Navy joke in here. Yes, there's an Army joke in here. I'm sure there is. And that was the fun part about the military. It wasn't just the fact that we were all in a common cause and fighting for our freedom and our flag, but we also, in the background, were able to have fun doing it, and that was it. So I got to ask one question. Who in here knows what a bubblehead is, and are there any in the room? We got one? You got one? Okay. Any in the room? Any others in the room? Yep, we're meeting later. So bubbleheads are the fun term for anybody in a submarine. So I said, one of these days I'm going to keep doing this event, and we're going to finally get another submarine here. So thank you very much. And as Director Craig was talking about, the time on the ship and, what they had to do, I always remind people there's only two kind of ships out there, submarines and targets. So with that, I want to thank everybody that put this together. I want to thank all the volunteers who made this a great event, all the people at 49th Street. Could we give them a hand? A lot of our HR team is here, but specifically Stephanie. Where's Stephanie? Stephanie's going to talk to you today about some of our supporters. Greg did a lot of work right here. And I'm going to bring up John Morris, but before I do, I want to point out the other parts of my ELT here. Janice Thomas down there, the lady in black today. John Milano. And Kevin McCann's flying up in the air somewhere on his way back to Chicago. And actually, Dave, when I see you there, can you just raise your hand a second? Dave Sima from Navy, but FRA inspector that takes care of Metra and makes sure we're doing everything right. Thank you, Dave. I hope you all have a great Veterans Day. Actually, now because we're starting on Thursday, you get a Veterans Weekend. So enjoy. I'd like to bring up John Morris, the final member of the ERT, because he is the executive sponsor for our Employees Resource Group, and he'll talk to you and introduce the ERG to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Before I begin, I had a conversation before this event started, and the quote that I got from that was, and you can take this for what it is, Metra is the Air Force of the railroad industry. So think about that, let that sink in. Sean George and Kevin Rainey know what I'm talking about. All right. So what I'd like to do is introduce some of the members on our Veterans ERG. And first introduced will be Dave Lipsky on the financial affairs team. He's from the Army, the National Guard, and the Reserves. Tyrell Bell from the Army. Kevin Bach from the Navy. And DeAndre Canty, also from the Army. So we got heavy Army representation. Thank you. You guys would come up, please. Turn it over to Dave Lipsky.
Thank you, John. My name is Dave Lipsky. I've been with Metra 15 years in various roles, starting as a communications specialist in the GPS Center, now known as the Track Center, then as a conductor on the CUS and electric districts, and currently as an accountant in the general accounting section of the financial affairs department. So John is my boss way up the food chain. I was invited to speak today by the organizers of today's event who wanted perspective from rank and file veterans. So it's my honor to be here speaking to you today. For my military background, I have over 20 years of military service, both active duty in the Wisconsin Army National Guard and currently in the U.S. Army Reserve. Since 2016, I've been a member of the 432nd Civil Affairs Battalion out of Green Bay, Wisconsin. When I came to Metra, what struck me immediately was the sense of camaraderie that exists among coworkers. People look out for each other here. It's a different atmosphere than other civilian jobs I've worked at, and I think that's what makes Metra an appealing choice for people from military backgrounds. In my experience, Metra has been an exceptionally military-friendly workplace, both in the way it treats veterans and reservists. It's not easy to balance two careers, serving as a reservist or citizen soldier in the post-9/11 environment. Guard and reserves are no longer just a standby force in case of emergencies, but are treated as equal to the active component as a primary source of personnel for routine missions. And there's no question that the demands of reserve duty frequently compete for time away from my civilian job. In particular, in the last 7 years, I've been deployed twice, in 2018 to Poland for 5 months, and then most recently to Niger in Northwest Africa in 2022 for 8 months. During my deployment to Niger, I was posted at the U.S. Air Base in Agadez, which is a city of 150,000 on the edge of the Sahara Desert. And here we worked on various humanitarian assistance projects with State Department and USAID, including rehab of schools, providing equipment to medical clinics, and then training the local Niger armed forces in basic soldier tasks such as first aid, field sanitation, and English language. And during this time, there's no question that it created an impact on the department I left behind. Managers had to redistribute tasks, rearrange responsibilities, and find other people to cover down on my work. But through it all, no one complained, or if they did, they kept it well hidden. But people were receptive and supportive. Additionally, I'd like to acknowledge that during this time, my spouse, who also works for Metra, received tremendous support back at home from friends, colleagues, even senior leadership here at Metra. Small but significant gestures, everything from providing grocery gift cards to offering to assist with chores, car rides, yard work, even a baby shower. But what meant the most was just the day-to-day checkups, like how is Dave doing or how are you doing? So in summary, Metra's policies and workplace culture have allowed me to successfully balance a military and civilian career as well as and comfortably as can be expected. Thank you. I will be followed by Tyrell Bell.
How y'all doing? I'm Tyrell. I'm currently in the Army. I joined in 2009. I did 11 years active duty. I'm currently on my 4th year in the reserves. I got 4 more years to go and I'm gonna retire. I'm a carman apprentice here at Metra. I got hired by Union Pacific in January. We switched over to Metra June 3rd. I was here for the event in July. But the transition has been absolutely easy. It's been very comfortable. I never have a problem when I have to go to drill and take the days off. And the policies allow me to continue my days working toward my journeyman card even if I have to go to duty. So the transition has been easy and it's been very nice. So next, I'm followed by Kevin Bach.
Good afternoon. I'm Kevin Bach. I'm a conductor on the CUS district. I've been with Metra for about 5 years. Been in the Navy for 22 and counting. My 22 years, I've had 2 of those deployments with my time at Metra. I just got back from Korea. I can't believe it's already been a year ago, but it's a great time. Metra's been very good in supporting us. I joined the Navy, like I said, 22 years ago because I was looking for something different. At the time I was going to school, kind of lost, got my direction, went to the Navy, and it's just been one fantastic journey. I chose the Navy because of their special programs. I would have to say that a defining moment of my career is we were off the coast. It was pitch black. I do small boat work. So it was me and another crew, and I was the lead navigator and comms. And I had a moment where I realized that on the navigator, I have to get everyone there safely. And if something does go wrong, I'm the communicator. So I'm going to be the guy on the radio. So I had all these other souls that I was responsible for, and that was, I would say, my biggest defining moment. The best thing about the military is the people. You can't work with better people, and I'm glad to see that there's so many people here that have the same values. We always have each other's back. You know, whether it's, I forgot my gloves, I have to go throw a switch, my buddy's gonna be there and he's gonna help me out, or if I have just some questions, we always come together as a community. And that's one of the things that I see here at Metra, that as they live that value. I came across Metra and it's been one great journey. I see a lot of similarities with them. Just to the uniforms, so we wear the combination hats with the service stripes, to the chain of command. The military is ingrained in Metra, even though it might not say it. Like I said, it's been fantastic. I appreciate everything Metra has done. I've deployed twice now while at my time with Metra, so I know that's always inconvenient when the crew callers have to rearrange stuff and you go off the board, but Metra has been very supportive. So my big appreciation to that. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is DeAndre Canty. I'm deeply honored to serve as a military officer in the U.S. Army 634th Battalion. My role has given me a profound opportunity to lead dedicated soldiers and contribute to our country's defense. My motivation to join the military was driven by a strong desire to serve my country, grow as a leader, and challenge myself. The U.S. Army stood out for its history, rigorous demand, and leadership opportunities aligning perfectly with my goals. The most rewarding aspect of my service is the unparalleled camaraderie and the shared mission with my fellow soldiers. This bond is unmatched and has taught me resilience and the confidence that extends into other areas of my life. Transitioning back into civilian life, I pursued further education and professional work. My service instilled a strategic mindset, composure under pressure, and the drive to lead by example, which continue to enrich my personal and professional journey. Thank you for Metra for hosting a Veterans Luncheon and honoring our service. Your support is greatly appreciated. I also want to thank my fellow veterans and supporters for your understanding and encouragement. Communities like ours allow us to share experiences and inspire each other. Strength and honor.
Thank you, gentlemen. Now we'll be followed by Shawnice Hatcher from the Human Resources Department.
Good morning, everyone. For those of you that don't know me, again, I'm Shawnice Hatcher. I'm one of your talent acquisition partners here at Metra. I'm very honored to be here today. As a talent acquisition partner, my role isn't just to fill open positions, as some of you may think. It's more about finding a diverse and talented pool of candidates who bring a variety of skills and experiences to our organization. Jim already mentioned that we're working very closely with Army Pays as a way to bring in a lot more veterans. And he also mentioned our Gold Vets medallion that we'll be displaying to just show our commitment to bringing in more veterans as well. So additionally, he also mentioned that we'll be introducing a veterans preference in our hiring processes with more details to come. So that's just one more step in ensuring that veterans have the opportunities that we provide here at Metra. Okay. I'm also happy to share with you that our efforts are paying off. As of the end of October, the recruiting team has hired nearly 50 veterans this year. Yes, give it up. Since January, we've committed to attending at least one veterans-focused career fair each month, which has led us to places like Soldiers Field for the big Hiring Vets event at Witham, and our new senior manager, Mike Foraker, went to that event. We've gone to Great Lakes Naval Base, and we've also visited the Illinois Army National Guard, where we met several veterans interested in working for veterans. And when you get a chance, I encourage you to check out Metra's Veterans Life page on LinkedIn. It's a great way to see how we're promoting our commitment to veteran hiring. Shelley, you want to join me? Also, if someone you know or yourself is interested in or looking to translate your military services over into civilian services, there's a cool website called Army Cool. See how I did that there? You can go to there and they can help you translate your military experiences over to civilian services. So, and finally, I'm excited again to reiterate our employee resources group, where Shirley would talk a little bit more about that.
Awesome. Thank you, Shanice. Good morning, everybody. Happy early Veterans Day, or as Jim said, we're going into our Veterans Day weekend. I am the daughter of a Navy vet who served on the SS Intrepid, and I am the mother of a Marine. So this really means a lot to me to see that we are taking the time to honor our veterans here at Metra. I just wanted to tell, I'm Shelley McAdoo, the Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion and Employee Engagement, and I just wanted to give a little bit of information on our Veterans Resource Group. The Veterans Resource Group is actually the first of our Employee Resource Group program here at Metra. This group is going to provide a space for veterans within our organization to connect, to share experiences, and to continue their professional growth in our community. Having an employee resource group really truly understands the unique skills and the leadership qualities that all of our veterans bring to the table here at Metra. It will give us an opportunity for all of the employees who identify as veterans or military families to be able to have shared experiences, to be able to have resources, and be able to have tools to make our jobs easier here at Metra, but then also to exemplify all of the unique and inimitable qualities that come with being a veteran and having served in the military. So please look for more information on our Veterans Resource Group. I do have some work for you today. I know you thought they're just going to have lunch, but if you look on the back of your agenda, you will see some ideas for the names of our Veterans Resource Group. During your time here today, just check what resonates with you most. If none of them do, please feel free to write in an idea or suggestion that you have. You'll see there's a title and a tagline. And then also, now that I have at least 144 of you, I'm making a mental note of all of the faces in the room. So I do want for you to scan the barcode and join the Veterans Resource Group. And you could just use your phones and scan the barcode. It will take you right to the link to get your information, so we can get your information to give you more information on our Veterans Resource Group and how you can become a part of the Veterans Resource Group. It's plug and play. You don't have to do anything other than make the meetings and whatever accommodates your schedule to be present. It's plug and play. So thank you so much. Thank you for your service. I'm excited to be here today with all of you. Thank you. Oh, and the next group on our agenda is Stephanie Bartucci and Raquel Harris, who's going to tell you a little bit more about our benefits and veteran introduction. Veteran fair introduction. Oh, Shani, she has
Sorry. I just wanted to mention that we meet for the ERG on Tuesday afternoons once a month. So there's going to be a QRC coming up on the VIN where you can sign up to join the ERG, or just shoot Shelley an email, shoot myself an email, find us. We would love to have you join the camaraderie. And thank you so much all for you being here today. It is my privilege to work alongside of you, each of you, and to honor your service. Thank you for everything you've done and continue to do for our country and for Metra.
Hello, everyone. I am Stephanie Bartucci. This is Raquel Harris. She has been my right hand since she started in September organizing this event, so I want to take a moment to give her recognition. We know that benefits are very important to all of our employees, and your military benefits are also extremely important to you. So we have some representatives from various organizations here today that will be participating in a vendor fair on the first floor. We have the Jesse Brown. We have a community engagement and partnership coordinator and suicide prevention program coordinator. So if you'd like to come up, please. We have the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs, the Chicago Regional Office. We have U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs, Marine Corps veterans. We have Hire Vets. We have CERCO, which is in coordination with Hire Vets. We have Illinois Joining Forces. So again, all of these organizations and members will be in the conference room on the first floor, right outside of the elevators. Please see them either before you eat or after you eat. They'll be here to answer any questions, let you know what military benefits you have available to you. As well as in the back of the room, there is a flag. We would like for you to record a thanks with Carlo. There he is back there waving. So that we can put a video up for everyone to see all of our employees and so that they know who you are and give you your recognition. Okay. So next, we're going to gather outside to take a photo with the